What's up guys, it's your host VigiGames and welcome to this week's video. As you can see in the thumbnail and the title of today's video, we're going to be continuing our discussion on how strong is Kingdom Hearts. In this video we're going to be looking at Sora from Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance to determine just how strong he is in this game. Obviously this has spoilers for the game, but considering the game is several years old at this point, you can get over it. Also, I acknowledge that Dream Drop Distance is just as important title for Riku and his power, but once again this video is about Sora and we will get back to Riku in the future. Like last week's video, we're going to be taking a look at all the things that Sora has in his arsenal to determine how strong he is. These being Keyblades, commands, flow motion, dream meters, boss fights, and feats. Sora's abilities and feats are impressive in this game like always, and we might need to reference previous title entries to further understand his feats that he pulls off in this game. First, we have the Keyblade. With the Keyblade being the iconic weapon in the series, not just with Sora, but majority of the series cast, there will always be significant priority on the weapon. Like mentioned above, we acknowledge that Riku is in the game and can obtain every Keyblade that Sora can except for their own Keyblades, being the Kingdom Key and the Weighted Dawn respectively. And they both also have an exclusive Keyblade from Prankster's Paradise, Sora being able to wield Ferris Gear and Riku the Ocean's Rage, meaning both can have every other single Keyblade from each world and ultimate weapon, each with their own stats and strength and magic. We all acknowledge the Keyblade and how they work, so that should just about wrap that up. Second, we have the deck commands returning from Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, and just like in that game, the character, depending on who you play as, has a number of slots in their command deck for you to use different commands ranging from attacks to magic and even items. Now Sora has a ton, and I mean a ton of commands that he has access to. It will literally take me like 20 minutes to get over each individual one in full detail. Maybe an idea for a future video, but we'll just note some of the recurring moves Sora had. Like mentioned, all of his magic based attacks are now commands, being the different elemental attacks, cure, and arguably the most broken move being balloon and its variant. Also, Sonic Blade returns as a command, so that's neat. All in all, Sora has a large moveset for different enemy types that he can use as he sees fit. Third, we have a new feature in this game called Flow Motion, which was extremely overpowered in Dream Drop Distance and eventually got nerfed in future titles of Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Birth by Sleep A Fragmentary Passage and Kingdom Hearts 3. Essentially, this new game mechanic allows Sora and Riku to traverse the worlds with extreme ease by interacting with certain environmental elements such as jumping off walls, light posts, and grinding on rails. Once jumping off said objects, you can glide through the air with the momentum gained from doing such action. They can also jump great distances and heights by using this new ability and attack enemies, dealing significant damage. Essentially, they can climb up any wall by using this feature to find chests or enemies that they could not access normally. The game wants you to explore using this feature by hiding some stuff really well. Also, using this as a set of commands to deal damage with enemies with different attacks such as Pulse Spin and Shock Dot. All in all, this is an impressive ability gained in this game that helps speed the game up with traversing the worlds and combating enemies. Third is another new feature in Dream Drop Distance, being Dream Meters. Dream Meters are both good and bad, act as this game's main enemy, essentially this game's heartless or nobodies. However, you can have the good ones as party members, replacing Donald and Goofy. The party Dream Meters get compared to Pokemon quite frequently, as you can power them up, play games with them, train them, feed them, etc. But they can be a crucial part in this game, giving Sora and Riku added abilities and attack. Returning from Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep is a link system where you gain the attacks or powers from whomever you're linking with, but in this game you link with your party Dream Meters for increased stats or attack. Sora can create his own Dream Meters and swap them with his party to create a team for whatever he sees fit. Fourth, we have boss fights, and honestly the boss fights in this game are kinda non-impressive, for Sora at least. That being said, the ones that are notable are the following. Starting off as Ursula the Sea Witch, who is actually the first boss fight in the tutorial. The fight itself is like mentioned above the tutorial for the game, but Ursula herself is a very impressive adversary as seen in the movies she appeared in, and also as a boss in Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. Moving on is the Wargoyle that we encounter in La Cité de Cloche and the final boss. Once again, the fight is meh, but as seen in cutscenes, the Wargoyle was capable of destroying large parts of the city, setting a lot of it on fire. So basically, it's impressive for being city level in terms of destruction capabilities. Moving on is the Chillclopster, who once again is not that significant of a fight. However, this nightmare was capable of freezing Monstro the Whale, which is a very impressive feat. As seen in Kingdom Hearts 1, Monstro is capable of surviving in space without air and or water. Now this next boss fight is the most impressive that Sora has, acting as the boss of the game for Sora, being Xemnas, who was also the boss of the game in Kingdom Hearts 2. However, this Xemnas is not the final form Xemnas, that is seen in Kingdom Hearts 2, but it's still impressive for Sora to do in a 1v1 fight. Which in this fight, Xemnas throws multiple buildings at Sora and he is able to dodge / cut them in half. Last but not least is the secret boss of Julius, who upon defeat you are awarded the ultimate weapon. All other boss fights are honestly pretty meh. Last but not least, Sora's feats, which in this game also kinda slacking. His feats are as followed. He can breathe underwater as seen in Prankster's Paradise in search of Pinocchio and Jiminy. He can also walk on the ocean's floor, which is kinda neat. Also, returning Sora can fly / soar through the air. Last, another new mechanic in this game is reality shift that Sora and Riku can use to interact with certain items or enemies, and it changes depending on the world. With the use of reality shift, Sora can hack computers in the grid and cut buildings in half in the world that never was. Some of these reality shifts allow Sora to use a combined Keyblade alongside Riku to destroy objects or deal massive damage to enemies. So these are the list of things that Sora has in his arsenal to determine his strength at Kingdom Hearts Stream Drop distance, but as we all know, Sora's friends are his power.
I know the Keyblade didn't choose me, and I don't care. I'm proud to be a small part of something bigger. The people it did choose. My friends, they are my power!
Those are just words. You've lost.
So if you like this video, consider subscribing as we continue to make more Kingdom Hearts videos. This is episode 2 in our series of How Strong is Kingdom Hearts Universe. This is your host, Vigigames. Bye!